Spider-Man Brand New Day just had the biggest domestic opening of all time with $360 million, beating Avengers Endgame's previous record of $357 million domestically. A movie that was the conclusion of the entire MCU up to that point. How does a Spider-Man movie do that? Is this the superhero renaissance? Well, not really. Look at the DCU's second movie, Supergirl. After the massive love for Superman, Supergirl just completely flopped. Despite still getting pretty mediocre reviews, and its entire worldwide total is less than what Spider-Man made on its first day domestically. So no, this isn't a renaissance. Superhero fatigue is still very real, but despite that, Spidey just broke a record nobody expected to fall. That is why today I'm going to try to answer the question of why Spider-Man is still so popular to this day. There are a few real reasons why Spider-Man is outperforming everyone else right now, and the biggest one isn't the one that people keep pointing to. The most obvious reason is that the Spider-Man brand is riding an enormous wave right now, thanks to No Way Home, which was beloved by basically everyone and made a staggering $1.9 billion. And then we have Across the Spider-Verse, which made slightly less, but still $690 million and was, if anything, a lot more critically praised. But that's not the whole story either. Another big factor is the sheer popularity of Insomniac's Spider-Man games on PlayStation. I didn't fully realize how big those actually are, and I've heard several of the action set pieces in Brand New Day were heavily inspired by the Insomniac Spider-Man games. But I still don't think that's the main reason. Brand strength alone doesn't guarantee this kind of result. I mean, just look at Minions and Monsters, which underperformed significantly compared to the last Minions movie, despite the brand still being really strong as recently as Despicable Me 4. Now, I've seen a lot of people point to Tom Holland and Zendaya's Starpower as the reason this movie succeeded, and I'm not so sure. Sure, Starpower can raise a movie's floor at the box office, but it doesn't move the needle like it used to. Tom Holland himself is proof of that. Look at his movies outside of the Marvel universe. Something like Chaos Walking was a huge flop, for instance. That said, he did also make movies like Uncharted more popular than people expected it to be. And I think having Zendaya, Tom Holland, Mark Ruffalo and Jon Bernthal absolutely gave this movie a healthy baseline. I think that compounds once audiences are already interested in the premise. It raises the ceiling far more than if these same roles were filled by lesser known names. Okay, before we continue, please subscribe. I will stop asking once I reach 1,000 subscribers. Okay, let's continue. This is the single biggest factor for why Spider-Man is still this popular. It just comes down to how relevant Peter Parker still is right now, especially to Gen Z. As I covered in my video on the success of Backrooms and Obsession, Gen Z is now the largest cinema-going audience out there, which is exactly why movies built for them are exploding, and why something like Masters of the Universe just flopped. Every theme that defines Spider-Man and Peter Parker taps directly into that audience. Even though Peter has super strength, Spidey sense, and can swing across the entire city, the problems he actually deals with as Peter Parker are so relatable. Figuring out if a girl likes him, struggling to pay rent, or, quick spoiler warning for the movie, one of the most emotionally brutal scenes is MJ telling Peter that she doesn't love him. Or just getting picked on in high school. Spider-Man has always been about the person behind the mask as much as the hero, maybe even more. And when that person is just a kid from Queens, it makes the character almost endlessly relatable across almost every audience. So that is why Spider-Man is still this popular to this day, even decades after he was first invented and put on paper. And for the record, I'm not even that big of a fan of Tom Holland's Spider-Man, but Brand New Day genuinely surprised me with how much I liked it. And if you want to know why, that review is right here. So thanks for watching, subscribe to help me hit 1,000 subscribers, and I'll see you next week. Bye!